All right, so I am now ready to discuss the eBay banning. Look, they even do this to me while I'm talking. It's crazy. They're just after me everywhere I go. Okay, so Matt wanted to hear the story of why eBay has banned me for my entire life. I was just talking about it, and I was telling a friend, said if I ever want to buy something from eBay, like, you're gonna have to buy it for me. I'm gonna have to get like someone in my family or whatnot to do it, because they've banned my social security number, my IP address, which I could always get around that, but my name, obviously, if I use a card with my name, obviously it's not gonna be good for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna try it. I don't really care, to be honest with you. But I'm also just checking my. I'm live on Rumble right now, so I have my laptop, my iPad right here. Liberal tears. Um, I have it right below me with my Rumble stream, so because I'm looking at it and it keeps stopping. So that's what. But I'm gonna put that away so we can start now, because I think the people that want to hear this story are here. Are you here? Can you let me know? There's 3 people from YouTube watching. I don't even know where it tells me how many. I get a lot more on Rumble, but for some reason Rumble doesn't um, put up a live chat for my, like, I go into live chats all the time. Wait, what? You see what happens? My whole computer just shut my microphone off. This is why Wait a second. This is why I gotta check shit. I mean, everything breaks. Everything breaks. So, is my microphone even working? I have to check again. Yeah, let me do this and look at my Rumble stream. Alright, so it's a little behind on the Rumble stream. So my microphone is working fine now because it just shut off. It just stopped working. If you rewind a minute, you'll see that the microphone just stopped working. It says your camera has low FPS. I know, but can you hear me through my microphone, or can you just hear me? That's what I need to know. That's what I was about to check. Because even though it's on, that doesn't mean it's working. You know. And there was just three other people here. Where did they go? Because of that shit. I think the people that wanted to see what I'm about to say were here, because there was 3 and then 4 people watching from YouTube. The second I looked down at my Rumble stream to see what's going on there, because for some reason there's no live chat on my Rumble stream during my live stream, I looked up and they were gone, and my microphone wasn't working. So, yeah. I guess you'll have to watch this later then, even though Matthew, you told me to do this live and not record it or whatever the hell you said. And I've been well, more than I'm about almost 10 minutes now, and I think you were here. So whatever. There's people watching on Rumble, so I'm gonna have to just go get on with it. I don't know what else to do. All right. So here's the deal. eBay isn't something that actually back in 2004 I might have used eBay to buy like my first like real laptop, right? So I used eBay when I worked for Citibank, and I got my first paycheck from the bank, I think, and I bought a laptop for it was like $1,200. It was the first thing I ever bought from eBay, and probably the last thing I've ever bought from eBay, because when this incident happened, I remember I think I had to make an account just to set it up. So what happened was, and let me just make sure, just for my safety, for my personal safety. See, this is what they miss when they just leave the stream just because it didn't work for 5 seconds. Uh-oh. Okay. I just want to make sure no one can recognize who I am while I discuss this. So, okay. Now, I know a guy who had a couple of books. Okay. And when he was a kid, these books were well known. I don't know how to say this. They were sought after, but for the most part illegal to own or sell. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, because that person gave those things to me so I can show you them today. It's not me, obviously, because that person does not have a mustache. Anyway, I don't feel good today, by the way. The guy who did this, he also doesn't feel good. He doesn't feel good about what he did to eBay, even though he's saying right here, fuck you, eBay. eBay sucks. Because it does. They shouldn't ban anyone for anything. But I gotta tell you, dude, to the guy who actually did this, I probably would have banned you too. So let's talk about it. I believe this is his channel that I'm on right now. I'm Mr. Mustache. So he was selling on eBay. He's like, you know what? I have these things. They're definitely worth money. People want them. Didn't really think it through. This wasn't recent. This is about 2 years ago. But he probably really didn't think it through to the point, especially politically, which is something that he's actually good at thinking through things in the political, you know, arena, I guess you could say. So this right here is a box called the Fart Filter, and it's like it's a prank box. So it's like, you know, you give someone a gift that's not a fart filter and you put it in this box. That's the point of the box, okay? So what he went on eBay and went to go sell. This guy we'll call him John. We'll call him John, right? It's not his name, so we'll call him John. So John was selling the fart filter box. But inside the fart filter box was the problem. What was inside the fart filter box was not only one of the most well-known and treacherous things on Earth. Now, I don't have the whole thing. I only have the front cover here. This isn't the book. It's just the cover. Let me make sure I'm on. Oh, damn it. I already showed it. Well, yeah, there's a couple of pieces of other paper inside of the cover. I just put paper in it to make it look like it's the book. But there's no print inside these books. Anyway, so this book right here. Whoa, yeah, see, I just put paper in there so it didn't show my under nipple there. That's just the cover and a piece of paper. Anyway, so this book was inside there. Now, people all over the world wanted to look at this book. Whoops. Because, well, when John was a teenager and got his hands on these books, it was just like a cool thing to have. He was in the punk scene. Nobody had these things, and he came across them and took them. Didn't take them, but, you know, bought them legally. I guess not bought them legally, but bought them from someone. Didn't steal them from anywhere or whatever. And not only did he have the Anarchist Cookbook, which, of course, thinking back now, John, when you tried to sell these on eBay, you have these crazy left nut jobs out there now doing stuff like this. Why would you sell these? How do you know if someone bought that? How do you know it's not one of those lunatics that wants to, you know, make something out of that book and then throw it at Justice Kavanaugh's house, Supreme Court, if you don't know who that is, right? So that's the mistake that John made, not me, John. Now, what's even worse was William Powell originally wrote or put together the original Anarchist Cookbook. That's that one. Another version was made by Robert Wells called the Anarchist Handbook. This right here, just the cover, not the book, just the cover and the back, is I guess you could say that's the cookbook that you would have in the kitchen for your recipes, and this is the handbook that you would bring on the road, right? So basically, in the fart filter box was this book with every page intact, and then this one that people didn't even know about. Let me see if I can show you. I mean, it's empty. Whatever I'm going to show you, I drew myself, actually. Just so you know, I'm very good at art. I'm one of the best artists in the world. If you didn't know, check it out. So I said I'm going to write on here improvised blasting caps. I said, hey, let me just write that and show and just draw pictures of like how you could possibly do stuff like that. You know, that's the kind of things that are in here. I don't know, whatever. that were in here. I just drew that with my hands. That's just a little Sharpie and some big pen. So so that's the story of. Oh, hi Matt. Now here, after I tell the story about John's eBay problem, not me, because I have a mustache. If you notice, Matthew Zizzo, I have a mustache, and usually the guy that's in this video does not. So I'm not him. I'm gonna retell the story now because I just finished it for you, because I'm doing it so you can hear the story. Did you hear the story, Matt? Yes, I'm wearing a fake mustache pretending that I'm someone else so I can try and not get destroyed for making this video. Because who did this was John. Remember, John did that. I'm not John. I'm Juan, and John isn't even the name of that person. Okay, you're all ears. Okay, here we go. We'll do it again. Let's start again. So let's get to the point where this mustache is proof that I am not the owner of this account, that I am sitting in place to tell you the story about a man who did something on eBay that might not have been the best idea, and he didn't think it through, and he got banned forever. Okay, so all right, let's start over. I'll start over without the mustache. So, damn, that actually hurt. Okay, so back when, all right, so I'm going to, shit, I forgot how I did the mustache thing in the first place. Let me put the mustache on. All right, so I know a guy named John, and when he was a teenager, he acquired a couple of things that were, let's say, in the late 90s, early 2000s. Fuck this fucking mustache. I already did that. All right. I'm just going to go straight up with my glasses on. It's getting hot in here too. Hold on. Damn, my dog Gino is upside down. He's passed out. Okay. So, back when I'm still going to do a third person with the wrong name just for safety's sake. Rumble, I know Rumble doesn't care, and I know the people that are watching on Rumble don't care. Thank you. But here on YouTube, they seem to care a lot. So what happened is, what John did was, back when he was in high school, he was in a lot of punk bands. He had a mohawk, Liberty Spikes, all the punk stuff. He was a punk rocker, for sure. John, John is, you understand what I'm saying, right? Yeah. Well, I'm not taking off all my clothes, but what's funny that you said that is, do you know the family from Odd Virginia called the Whitakers? They're all in a family of incest, and the guy from Soft White Underbelly goes and hangs out with them, and he brings them to the local fairs, whatever. I was watching this, and he brought them all, and they're all all messed up and stuff, and he brought them to the fair, and Nelly's Hot in Here was playing, and one of them. Oh, of course. So Ray. So you must have saw it. Ray and they were the song was playing and they loved that was great. Ray looks very sick, Matt. I don't know if you saw the last video where they go to the thing, but where they go to the amusement park or the carnival. But Ray's not looking good. It's really sad. His brother died. They don't never say how his brother died really, but they were best, buddies, and of course, they buried the brother across the street from their house. And yeah, the Whitaker family is a great. I mean, just because they come from a line of incest doesn't mean that they're not good people. They're actually probably the nicest people that I've ever seen. So, anyway, buried in the driveway across the street. Exactly. Literally, when you watch Mark at the house in the new video, when Ray comes and gives him a hug, he goes, "Where's Ray?" Because Ray was sleeping on the couch. He's not feeling good. You can see it. Their eyes start turning red and shit. And he goes, "Where's Ray?" And Ray comes out and hugs him. And then he turns the camera and points it right at where his brother's buried. And I don't know why he did that. He didn't mention why he did it, but he did it. So I don't know if you saw that one yet, but it just came out the other day. I think I watched it yesterday. Anyway, so what John did, right? He had this. He was a punk, right? He was in the punk scene. He's a musician. At that time, he was playing shitty music that was easy to play. He obviously learned after that metal was better, harder, more fun, and just started playing better stuff. Anyway, he also had this box from the fart filter. Now, this is a fart filter, which is just a prank box. So you give someone a gift in this box, then they're like, the fart filter? What the fuck is this? And then they open it, and something else is in it. So what John did was he went on eBay, and he sold this fart filter box with two things inside. Now, I'm going to go through the whole spiel that I did before you got here, Matt, because I have to try and protect myself a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm going to put the mustache back on because that's how it hides my identity from the evil alphabet companies that want to take me down. So this book right here was the first one. Now remember, this is only the cover. There are no pages with print inside this book. I just put paper inside of it to make it look like it's a book. It's just the cover with just some paper and the back that I put paper in the middle of. As you can see, there's nothing in it. You cannot learn how to make any grenade launchers or anything in this whole book, or drugs, nothing like that. It's totally empty. Okay, that was one obviously stupid idea to do that. Okay, fuck this mustache. All right, so what John was selling on eBay, and as he makes me sit here with this anti-eBay thing in the corner and the eBay sucks background, he's admitting has admitted that he made a mistake. So 2 years ago, not thinking. Now John is a right-wing political person. I see you would call John a right-winger. Obviously, I borrowed this shirt from him because I'm trying to look like him in the video because I'm kind of an AI. And anyway, and so is all this stuff. It's all fake. Everything I'm showing you is fake. This is all AI stuff. So it's not real. It doesn't exist. Anyway, so 2 years ago, not thinking straight, even though he knows that there's these nut jobs out there called Antifa and the likes of people that will do the same kinds of things, he decided, you know what? These things are rare. They're worth money. Why not sell them? Fuck it, right? Because John isn't rich, unfortunately. John would like to be rich, but John doesn't really have much money. So he's like, why don't I sell this book because it's rare, it's the original, and just as a souvenir. I mean, not me. John loves to have this in his possession just because it's cool, because this is a really cool thing to own, especially because of the I guess you could say the what's the word I'm looking for? Just the taboo. Yeah, taboo. The taboo around just what this is in general is cool. To own one, when I was John's age, everyone that I knew wanted one of these, and no one could find one, no one could get one, and John happened to get one. So he's had it since he was, 15 or something like that, right? Then John comes across some other people in his travels. This original book is called The Anarchist Cookbook. It's by William Powell. Sorry. But Robert Wells said, hey, that's a cookbook. Now I used this already. I already said this. I'm just going to say the same line again. That's a cookbook. It's like that's where you keep it in the kitchen for your food recipes. But we need a handbook, okay? So he also found the Anarchist Handbook by Robert Wells, which is basically the travel edition of the cookbook, which, of course, this is all AI. There's nothing in here. You cannot improvise claymore mines. You cannot do that. This is I drew this with my hands. Okay. It's not showing you how to make a shotgun grenade launcher. Nothing like that. Nothing like that going on. This is all AI, fake pages. I drew that, wrote that. Great handwriting. I had to do that for John, and yeah. So what he did was he went on eBay and tried to sell those books with. Obviously, he knew that he wasn't doing something that was 100% legal, I guess you could say, because he tried to hide it with the fart filter box. Stupid John. Stupid John, right? So, yeah, when they figured out what was actually being sold in that box, John got banned from eBay forever. So, as I was saying earlier, John was with someone, talking to someone earlier, and he said, if I ever need to buy anything from eBay, like, you're gonna have to buy it for me. I'm gonna have to get like a family member to go on eBay on with their account, because John's IP address, which obviously anyone can get around. Anyone that John can definitely get around that, but also his name, his social security number, all that stuff is banned from eBay. So anytime if John ever tries to use eBay, it's not gonna work. Now, the problem that John has is that well, it's not a problem. I'm going to start just talking about me now, because I'm John, and my name isn't John, but I was calling myself John that whole time. So I didn't even think. I really didn't think, Matt, and whoever else is watching, a couple other people watching. I wasn't really thinking, because obviously, like I'm wearing a shirt that says "Beware of Democrats." Like I'm not a person who is into violent political action or anything like that, and I consider like Antifa people and stuff like that people who would want this information, right? But not thinking, just 2 years ago, I decided, or John decided to sell those books and not even realize, hey, wait, you don't know who you're going to sell this to. What if you sell it to, Randy Johnson down in Arizona or up in Seattle, and or even in New York, wherever he may be pitching at the time. If you sell something like this to Randy Johnson, how do you not know Randy Johnson isn't in Antifa or one of these people that wants to throw it at, like I said before, go to a Supreme Court justice's house and make one of these things and throw it into their window? Like, how do you know that person isn't one of those people? And he doesn't. John or me, we both don't know, and that was the mistake. So I guess the surprise here is, yeah, John fucked up, I fucked up, and we're admitting it here, because when you make a mistake like that, you have to admit it. I cannot sit here and say that that John was selling those things without knowing who it was going to go to, and that was a good idea. I cannot sit here and say that. That was very stupid, but there's no buts. There's no excuses for it. It's stupid. John is going to hold on to them, and if anyone privately that John knows privately wants to buy them from him, I don't know if he'll sell them or not. I got to talk to the guy. He's invisible. I'm an AI. It's hard, but either way, these things, like Matt said, it's a coveted item and a great conversation piece to own. That is the exact point of why I said, you know what? Let me sell this, because I definitely can get money. Oh, I mean, that's what John said. That's his quote. I'm quoting John's autobiography, where he said, "Let me sell this because I don't have much money. I need some money, and people will probably want to buy this." That's John's quote from the book, John Living the Life of Luxury 2. That's the sequel. Anyway, this question may not be answered. So eBay has banned John from ever using eBay again, which kind of sucks. But in a way, I honestly, like I said earlier, and you weren't here. Oh, now someone new. Yeah, I found my fake mustaches. The thing is, I was telling the nobody that was watching before this. Actually, I'm sorry, people on Rumble. The people on Rumble were watching. I was telling them that Wait, what? Where the fuck was I even going with this? I'm fucking lost now because I already did this. I'm trying to remind myself of what I said earlier. Either way, okay. Either way, it's a bad idea. A coveted item, yes. Conversation piece, yes. How do you know Randy Johnson won't blow up the CNs out during a Molotov cocktail? That's what I'm saying. So, uh, you know, he can throw. That's what I'm saying. So if me, why do I keep saying this AI is? I'm AI, so I keep saying A and I by accident. Just so you know, he if he sold it to Randy Johnson, yeah, Randy Johnson could throw a beamer, bro. He's gonna hit whatever he wants. He could hit the top of CN Tower easily for one toss, just a lob. So we don't want to get these books into the hands of those people, and so John made this mistake of putting it out there for really anyone to buy, which I agree that eBay should have taken that down. And John is happy that they did because John actually wanted to keep them. He didn't want to sell them. He would have had the, what, $100, something, whatever, for a minute, for 5 seconds when he got the money for that. 2 years ago, it would be, and now they would be gone. Instead, they still exist in possession of someone who's not going to use them for nefarious reasons. But again, I'm not human. John is not someone who's like wants to really have to hold the like bear the burden of holding on to stuff like this. At my age, I'm not. It's not like I'm 80 years old, but like I don't really need. I don't need. I keep saying AI. Stop saying I. Okay, reset. John doesn't want other people that might actually use the information inside there because it works. I mean, these books have been tested and they work. The things in them, you can make drugs, you can make weapons, you can do a lot of stuff with these things. So what John did, and he admits full admission, he admits in his book Dreams of My Father. Oh no, that's the book full of lies by Barack Obama. I forgot the name of his book, but and when questioned about his book, the only question he wasn't allowed to be asked was anything about his father. That's funny. Okay, you can watch my stream from yesterday where I exposed him about that. Anyway, these books here are coveted items, and it's hard to let go of them for John. But he also doesn't really want to have to keep holding them and make sure that he doesn't lose them or whatever, because there was a time. And no, please don't, please do not. AI is going to flip out. AI is going to flip out if you compare anyone that we like to Bert Kreischer, who is a retard. Okay. Whoa, AI just really messed up there. What happened? Anyway, damn, see, every time AI resets, when you hear when that name comes up, AI just fucks up, just like Bert Kreischer does. He is an idiot. Anyway, but he does have the movie coming out called The Machine, right? Doesn't he have the movie? He made the movie? Did it come out yet? That movie, The Machine? Where it's like the story of him in Russia, the Machine story, that it's the only story that he has that's true, or it might be somewhat true. Obviously, the movie he made isn't going to be true at all. But it's obviously going to be full of bullshit and maybe one truth. But anyway, back to eBay, because remember, I've been told to do this. I have to keep doing this. Okay, just ban. You know what? Fuck it. Just boycott eBay. Don't let them get you, because they got John. Ooh, Who is John? We do not know who John is. We never heard of no John because eBay suck. eBay suck. Okay, that was my Asian friend. Yeah, so basically what happened was I tried to sell these books on eBay, and I've been banned for life. So that's the story. I hope you enjoyed it. So what else can we look at? Anyone hanging out any longer, or should I just go? Because I could show you
what you know now. Do you wish like you had a third term? You know what? If I could make an arrangement where I had a stand-in, a front man or front woman, and they had an earpiece in, and I was just in my basement in my sweats, looking through the stuff, and then I could sort of deliver the lines, but somebody else was doing all the talking.
Isn't that what you're doing right now? What is going on in this? What is going on this weird AI thing? Yes, e-gay, definitely e-gay. They are definitely e-gay, and yeah. So I mean, I came on here to tell this quick story about these books. Which, you know what? Fuck it. I don't even care. You guys know I don't care. How many channels? You've known me for like a month. How many channels have I lost already? And this one ain't going anywhere anyway, so I don't give a fuck. All right, chapter 1. Actually, I'm even going to do this. Chapter 1. Drugs. Let's see. Let's see what it says. Cooking with pot, harvesting, first method. This is showing you how to harvest marijuana. Obviously, this book is old. People don't really care about that anymore because people just know how to do it naturally anyway. But it gets a little better. We got pot soup, we got pot loaf, chili bean pot, banana bread, sesame seed cookies, bird stuffing, apple pot, hash cookies, hash soup, hash brownies. We got all the recipes for those here. But let's get more into the other drugs like LSD and peyote. Obviously, I don't think you can make peyote, right? I remember once when I was in Mexico, it was Juarez or maybe Laredo. I can't remember, but all the border towns are fantastic. Yeah, they used to be. Go there now and enjoy yourself. Making LSD in the kitchen is right here. Artie autobiography. Artie's autobiography? Are you talking about did you say that when I was talking about lying? Because Artie's autobiography, if he wrote a real autobiography, would be just like when he speaks. Mostly bullshit. Just like Bert Kreischer. I mean, Artie's the good version of Bert Kreischer, in my opinion. Artie Lang's like the Bert Kreischer's a fake Artie Lang that's doing an Artie Lang impression and not doing it very well, making up bad lies. You know, drugs, chapter 1. Yeah, so we're in LSD dosages, making LSD in the kitchen. We're only on page 44. This is 200 pages. Peyote. This is a quote I'm going to read randomly. Shit, if they come at me, I swear to God, I'll take one of the cocksuckers with me. Says it right there. I don't know why it says it. I'm not going to read all of it. Okay, so look, here's method 1 to extract mescaline from peyote in the kitchen. Guess you guys can screenshot this stuff if you want, really. So that's what is here. And then, of course, they show you how to do it on this side. This is a separatory funnel with a cork rubber stopper, water, chloroform solution with peyote extract, a stop cork. Everything is step by step. This is a 19-step process for this specific drug. But I see the word anal. I don't know why. Okay, what's next? Oh, look. It's one of our favorites. The old shrooms. I don't think there's anything cool about that. I mean, the fucking guy at the drugstore, at the smoke shop selling these shrooms now. So, I mean, I don't care about that. Recipe for DMT. Now, this is the full recipe to make DMT from home. You ever smoke DMT? Yeah, I want to make LSD in my kitchen. I want to make LSD anywhere, but I'd actually rather make DMT. If you've ever smoked DMT, it's that's what I'm saying. Cocksuckers are always around. They're everywhere, especially in Washington D.C., in New York City, in Seattle, in Portland, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Chicago, Detroit, Miami, even Dallas, Texas. Yeah, a lot of cocksuckers in those places. Oh, in Charlotte, North Carolina. Um, let's see what else we got. Amphetamines. Ooh, I was on Adderall for a while. Why does it say bananas? Oh, bananas. Yes, that's why. Because bananas can get you high. Did you know that? I knew that. Salvia's in here. Yeah, I know salvia because I used to smoke salvia. And then in this same room I'm in right now, about how long ago was that? Maybe 10 years. No, it couldn't have been 10 years ago. I didn't live in New York 10 years ago. Let's say it was 20 years ago, 18 years ago. I smoked salvia and I was right in the corner that's right to my right. I was sitting there laughing and then I started crying for not a half hour, like 15 minutes. I would just laugh and then hysterically cry and laugh and hysterically cry. And I almost went out this window. It was the last time I smoked it. Wait, you want to go back to bananas? I'm going to read the whole banana section for you then, because I don't remember how they do it. All right. Believe it or not, bananas do contain a small quantity of Musa septimium bananidine. Oh, the word banana is in bananidine. Did you catch that? Which is a mild, short-lasting psychedelic. There are much easier ways of getting high, but the great advantage to this method is that bananas are legal. Okay, 1. Obtain 15 pounds of ripe yellow bananas. I'm reading these. I'll put it up if you want to screenshot it. Right here is where my finger is where it says bananas. This right here is the banana section. Here, I'll get it closer if you want to screenshot what to do with bananas. Go ahead. I don't give a fuck. Bananas aren't going to hurt you. All right. 1. Obtain 15 pounds. That's a lot, I would assume, right? Yeah, 15 pounds of ripe yellow bananas. Peel all 15 pounds and eat the fruit. And, of course, don't eat all the fruit at the fucking one time. That's 15 pounds of bananas. I don't know why it says to eat the fruit in here, because the banana peels are what get you high. I knew that already, but I'm wondering why it's telling me to eat the fruit. Like, okay, that's what you do with fruit, but I'm not eating 15 pounds of bananas all day. Like, what are you, fucking nuts? That even though they have a small amount of potassium, and I'll give you a fact about myself. JJ, not AI or John, JJ. I have a low potassium level. So whenever I'm in the hospital for my Crohn's disease and stuff, they have to put me on IV potassium, which hurts. IV potassium will burn wherever they put it, and it's hard to get into my veins because I have very deep, skinny veins. They get it in there somewhere, and it just hurts. It feels like someone just got a knife, and it stabs you into that spot, and the knife just stays there. That's what it feels like as long as potassium is being put in your body. But I, even with low potassium, would overdose on potassium if I ate 15 pounds of bananas. So don't do that, please. With a sharp knife, this is 3, scrape off the inside of the peels and save the scraped material. You know, I'm starting to think that, what is his name again? William Powell is an idiot. Obviously, I'm gonna save the shit that I'm using to get high with. Why would I throw it out? That is another. That's 2 in like 3 steps that make no sense. Okay, put all the scraped material in a large pot. Add water. Boil for 3 to 4 hours until it attains a solid paste consistency. Which, you know what a solid paste consistency is, I hope. 5. Spread the paste on cookie sheets and dry in an oven for about 20 minutes to a half hour. This will result in a fine black powder. Makes about 1 pound of bananidine powder. Bananidine. It's literally the word banana with D-I-N-E at the end. Yeah. Frugal. What are you going to do? This will result in a fine black powder. Makes about 1 pound of bananadyne powder. Usually, one will feel the effects of bananadyne after smoking 3 or 4 cigarettes. So, see, what it here does not tell me is how do you smoke it with your cigarette? What is that? What it's saying? I mean, it's obviously, with all this information, very easy to find out what to do with the fine black powder. And it says usually one will feel the effects after smoking 3 or 4 cigarettes. That's probably just they're timing it by cigarette. Okay. The scrapings, not the paste, not the being. Well, rewind and listen again. What you want to scrape? Basically, you want to get the banana. I actually was gonna eat a banana. I haven't eaten today at all. Literally, if Stacy's in here right now, she's my witness. I don't eat food until like 6, 7 o'clock. I don't even eat at all. So I was gonna eat a banana actually, which is ironic, and I would have had a banana peel in the garbage can right below me. But basically, let's see. What can I use as a banana peel? I don't have any dildos around anymore. I'll use one of my old weed vape things. Okay. So let's say you got a banana peel here, right? You scrape the scrapings, and then the peel, I guess, is just garbage. I don't know why I had to do that. I don't know what the point of that was. But what did you say me to, Matt? I'm sorry. I'm off. Hi, Rumble people, by the way. Sorry, I keep forgetting that I'm on Rumble. And I get a lot more views on Rumble. And I have the same amount of followers. It's so weird. But people actually watch me on Rumble. Let's see. Impromptu weapons. Yeah. The peel's garbage. You want to just scrape the shit from the inside of the peel and then throw the peel out. Oh, okay. Yeah, Matt. See, that's how I've been losing weight recently. With the addition of walking a dog multiple times a day, even though they say don't eat late, whatever, most like intermittent fasting and all that stuff, instructions tell you to not eat in the morning. So I drink a cup of coffee. I have, water or like a hydration thing, but like I'm not even hungry until like 4 or 5 o'clock usually. But sometimes like I'll eat a banana. Like I was going to eat a banana right before I started doing this, because I really don't feel good today, and I feel like if I put food in my stomach, it might make me feel better. So I'm not going to go into it, but like there's certain days because of the medications that I take and what conditions that I have. There's certain days. Have you ever heard of Epstein-Barr disease? It's similar. I have that too, but it's similar to that, where Epstein-Barr only affects me like 1 or 2 days a month. So, but like every other Monday, every 2 weeks on Monday, and Stacey again can vouch for this, I feel very sick. I'm out of it. It's every 2 weeks on Monday is like the worst day for me. And I try and kill time as much as I can by thank you. Thank you, Dollface. I am gonna go eat a banana when I will. I mean, I'm gonna eat dinner, but not if it's pasta though. That's another thing. I'm Italian. I grew up eating Italian food with my grandma and grandpa going, "Oh, you eat, we got 17 fucking courses every fucking day of my life." I cannot eat Italian food anymore. I do not want Italian food. I don't like smelling sauce, and I have Crohn's disease. I can't have red sauce because it just destroys my stomach. Anything acidic is bad for me. The only acidic thing that actually is like I can have that doesn't bother me is grapefruit. And it's really weird because it's very acidic. It's very odd. Parvati, yes, Parvati. Yes, Stacy vouches for that. That is That is how I do things lately, and I've been losing weight, so it's been working. I'll tell you, Matt. I don't know if you know this. Um, Garlic and oil. I call it garlic and oil, but that's basically what gets put onto pasta for me when I eat is like a little oil and I don't even like that much garlic. Sometimes my sister makes garlic and oil for the kids, and then I go and just take a little Tupperware of that, and then I'll like just keep it in my fridge and take it out and like just eat like 4 of them, like literally by hand. Just pull out the Tupperware and just like, eat 4 cold pieces of like pasta that was in garlic and oil, and I'll just eat like 4 of them and put them back in the fridge. Or like I eat in very like small increments, but I would say that it's been working. It's a mixture of usually eating at a specific time, not eating all day, but definitely staying hydrated. I also think marijuana has something to do with it. I think marijuana is helping me a lot. I don't know if you guys use that for medicine purposes or just to get high, or if you even smoke weed. I don't know. Yes, grapefruit. See, that's Dollface. I'm gonna tell you a little secret story that a lot of people don't know about grapefruit and me. I'm on medications that they don't recommend people to eat grapefruit or drink grapefruit juice with. That's why I started eating grapefruits and drinking grapefruit juice. Yes, Matt, see, exactly. Matt just said it, okay? So that's what started me with grapefruits. I actually never was interested in grapefruits or grapefruit juice. I used to see a doctor. I'm just gonna tell you this story straight up. This was 2008, okay? I was seeing a doctor. The doctor was giving me Opana, 80 milligram Opanas, 2 milligram Xanax bars, 90 of them. I would get 60, 80 milligram Opanas, and also 90, 10 milligram methadone pills. And then some muscle relaxers. This doctor, obviously, the DEA came and shut him down a long time ago. But the point is, I took those prescriptions, and at the time, I just got off a train, went straight from the train station to the doctor's office, which is right next to the train station. And then right next to that is Walgreens. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just go to Walgreens. I'm not going to go over to my pharmacy or whatever, because this is when you bring the paper. Now they just do it in the computer. So I go to Walgreens. Yeah, I was chilling hard, Dollface. So I'm going to Walgreens. I have major drug problems. Yeah. Anyway, I go to Walgreens and they give me the methadone, the Xanax. With those, they gave me pamphlets, and the pamphlet right on the top said, "Do not consume grapefruit juice." That's what it said specifically. It said juice, not grapefruits, but obviously, juice comes from grapefruits. So, if you're an idiot, then you can't put that together. But obviously, it's grapefruit and grapefruit juice. So, the first thing I did when I read that, because I pulled down, I'm like, why'd they give me all these papers? Usually, I just get my bottles, I open them, and whatever. I see that it says that, and then I look across the street, and there's a supermarket, King Cullen. I don't know if you remember King Cullen. Narcan. If you want to talk about Narcan, I have a Narcan kit right here. So if we want to discuss, let's do a how to use Narcan seminar. No, I'm just kidding. I keep Narcan kits around because almost everyone I know is dead. Well, I don't know them anymore, but they've died. So I have a lot of Narcan because most of the people I know have died from overdoses. Anyway, so I see that that it says do not drink grapefruit juice. So I fucking run to King Cullen. I know you were joking, Matt, but this shit's serious, bro. So I run to King Cullen and buy grapefruit juice. Like literally that second. And from that second on, after a little bit, I acquired the taste where now I love grapefruit juice. Like if I go to breakfast, I think I think a couple of times, maybe like a year ago, Stacy went to breakfast. We went to the diner and I got, grapefruit juice, just in the morning, not with drugs or anything, just because I like it now. Now I just love grapefruit juice. I buy it sometimes at the supermarket. Not as much as I used to, but my grandmother, rest in peace, the same grandmother who was a slave in Tunisia, that grandmother, she didn't understand, so she used to come by my house and bring me fresh grapefruits, and she also bought me a juicer. So I started juicing my own fucking grapefruits and selling bottles of grapefruit juice to other people that I was squeezing myself. Now that happened in 2008, 2009, maybe 2007, 2008. That all happened. But yeah. I mean, you see how quickly things can, when you can just say a word. I could pull a rat out of my ass. I pull a Narcan kid out of my ass. I could pull mustaches out of my ass. I got fucking kratom. I can pull anything out of my ass. I got some tips here for some joints, cigarettes. Got a green blow pop. I got a flashlight. Right, this flashlight that has like 40 different screwdrivers on it. I have just weird shit all around me. I don't know why. I also have this. It's supposed to hold money, but I hold special hockey cards in it. As you can see, very rare hockey cards are in here. Kratom is great. Okay, are you guys gonna hang out for like at least another 20 minutes? Because I'll tell you personal stuff about myself right now. I don't mind opening up and telling you why and what I'm doing these things for. If you want to know, I'll tell you. But just let me know if you're gonna stay. Because if people are gonna just drop out in the middle of me talking about this, it's gonna make me sad. Okay, so it's not gonna make me sad. I'm just kidding about that. But and Rumble people, I know you're not gonna leave. Even though you don't have a live chat, I don't understand. I do not understand why my live Rumble has no live chat, but I go on live chats on other Rumble channels all the time. Anyway, thanks for watching on Rumble, anyone who's there. Yeah, Kratom tastes bad. What I do, okay, let me explain to Matthew. Well, it's hard to find you when you're live, but when I do, when I'm live, but when I do for you live, we chill. Right? You didn't mean you meant when I'm live, not when I'm alive. Because I hope it's easier to find me when I'm alive. Because I've been dead before. Not. I mean, I wouldn't say technically dead, but I mean, I should have been dead. Yeah, we're not far from each other. We will hang out. So, all right. So this is the thing. I have Crohn's disease, right? So I was born with it in the early 80s, in 1988 is when they actually figured out what Crohn's disease was. So I was born before that, like a couple years before that. So I was born with it. They didn't know I had it, right? Which means now I always have to preface this when I talk about it. It's a hereditary condition. Now, if they didn't know about it until 1988, that means my family must have had it for, generations. Must have had this disease that just nobody knew what it was. It was just, they must have thought maybe they were just shitting all the time, or either that, or they just didn't shit for a month, or their stomach just hurts all the time, or they throw up water, or, like all these bad things that happen when you have Crohn's disease, right? Especially before I've had multiple surgeries, which brings me to my point. We'll get to that. So basically, when I was 9, I was prescribed. They started prescribing me Marinol, which was THC in New York. I would, because with Crohn's disease, you legally there's a couple of illnesses, and Crohn's disease is one of them, where it's always been legal in New York to prescribe THC as a medication for these specific IBS things. Not colitis isn't one of them. but Crohn's is. So I was given Marinol pills, which were THC pills. I don't know if you ever tried those. But, so I was getting high on weed when I was like 9, right? They were also giving me Xanax, a very low dose of Xanax, the lowest dose you can get. The ones that are white, they're the little white ones that you have to take like 50 of them for them to even take a little anxiety off. Yeah, those ones. Stacy knows those ones. So I was given those when I was 9 also. So then 10 between when I was 10 or 11, they started giving me pain medication. Prescribed home to my mother. I was taking Vicodin at 10, right? So obviously I was going through severe pain, and the 0.75 to the 0.25 milligram ones. I'm just pretending I don't know what I'm talking about when I say that stuff. Obviously, I know every milligram of every pill that ever existed. I'm like like most people that are in the position that I've been in. We literally can tell you what pill is what from a mile away. So anyway, I'm shady. So anyway, Nirvana, not Nirvana. I'm not a Nirvana fan. What I was going to say. I'm not a Nirvana fan, but Kurt Cobain also had Crohn's disease. That was the disease that got him really hooked onto heroin because it stopped the pain of his Crohn's disease, right? And I'm not saying I'm Kurt Cobain, but the same thing happened to me. They put me on pain medication at 10 years old. By the time I go through high school, I'm on Vicodin throughout all of high school. None of my friends know I'm on this pain medication. I'm playing sports. I'm on multiple hockey teams. I'm on Xanax. I'm on Vicodin. I'm taking these Marinol pills, and nobody, like none of my coaches, like if they would have found out any of this stuff, they would have been like, wait, we don't want the, like, even though if let's say I was the best player in the world, they probably still wouldn't have wanted me to play because of whatever could happen to me, maybe because I'm on all these medications that really someone of that age shouldn't be on, right? So once I get to my high school, varsity, once I get in 9th grade, when I started high school, I went to the where is this? I was put onto the high school's varsity. Well, we didn't have our high school, Hicksville High School, didn't have hockey. Hicksville hockey was a team you had to try out for. It's not a team that was for the school. School never supported it, right? So every year I had to try out for Hicksville hockey, and I was the captain of the team. And on these drugs, also in pain from injuries that I had from hockey, I tore my ACL. So when that happens, obviously they give you pain medication. So by the time I turned 23, yeah, absolutely. It was way too early. It might have saved me, but you never know, because I'm about to get into a little, early 20s now. 23 years old is when I decided I was going to do heroin for some reason. I was taking pain medication, as I always did, and much heavier pain medication, because as time goes on, you build a tolerance, and also I was taking, not only was I taking, what was I taking? Oxycontin. Was I taking that at 23? Yeah, I was taking Oxycontin before I did heroin. Oxycontin and also methadone. So, and both of them. So, and obviously they could be, both of them are, one of them is used for a very good reason. The other one's used for pain, but it has destroyed way too many lives. I like methadone, and I like how they use it. I don't like what Big Pharma does with Oxycontin. Anyway, so I ran out of my pills, obviously, because once you start building a tolerance, your doctor doesn't give a shit. The doctor's like, well, too bad. I'm still giving you the same amount of pills. You can't have any more. So, I find then that's when I knew people who sold drugs. I was involved in selling weed, and shrooms and stuff when I was in high school. So I knew a lot of people. And so I called them and asked them if they have any of the pills that I take. No, no, no. And then I talked to this dude named Jeff, who actually lives, I could probably see the corner of his house from this window. He used to live over there. I called him and he said he had stamps. And I said, "What the fuck? I don't want stamps. I didn't call the fucking post office." And he's like, "No, stamps is horse heroin." I'm like, I was in my own bathroom. Remember, I was in the bathroom, like hiding from my girlfriend, making this phone call. And I'm like, well, I'm like dope sick. I never was dope sick before, and I was getting dope sick, right? So I was like, fuck it. So I drove down the block, and I got this bag of heroin. I was working in the bank now at this point, and started doing heroin. And at that moment, let's see, 23, 30, yeah, around that. And then about a year later is when everyone in my life started dying. Like my cousin was the first one. He died right on my lap. His head he overdosed on heroin. And I don't know if you've ever done heroin, Matthew Dollface, but when you buy heroin in New York, at least, in my areas, in your old areas, wherever, here, Long Island, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, they're in the little wax bags, right? And they have the stamp on them. So that's why he calls them stamps, because which product is which by what stamps on it. So we bought a bundle, which is 10 of those bags. In Philadelphia, it's 13. Don't know why, but in everywhere else, it's 10. He took one from the end, and I took one from the other end. So there was the 8 that were in the middle left. Yeah, the glassine bags, right? So there 8 of the 10 were in the middle. One from each end was taken off. I did one. Yes, we were using needles. We were IV, IV users of heroin. And my cousin did the other one, and his was a hot bag, and he died immediately. His head just smacked into my knee. And then I don't know if you know, from that was number 1 to the last one, which was just on April 1st of this year. Brian, who was found in his coming home from work, found standing up, because the shit that's in this shit these days, that you don't even fall down at all. You die standing up. Like he sniffed. He wasn't even shooting up. He was sniffing whatever he thought was heroin. It was obviously fentanyl plus the other stuff that they're putting in it. That's making everyone in Philadelphia zombies. Whatever that shit is, nihilazine or xylazine. That was obviously in it too. We still haven't gotten results back, actually. Or maybe they did, and I haven't gotten told. I wasn't told. Either way, when his door was kicked open, he was still standing up. So, because he bent down, sniffed it, stood up, and died. So, for a whole day, he was standing in a bedroom with his whole family walking around the house, just thinking he was in a room while he was standing up, dead. So, when they found him, he was rigor mortis, fully, standing up. He wasn't standing up anymore because he stood up. He was so rigor mortis, I guess you could say, that he finally fell to his bed. But, if your bed's flat, his body was not flat on the bed. He was stiff. And that's how they found him. Anyway, so that happened April 1st of this year. So that's the last one. And in between, I have a book here that has every name, and there's at least 65 names of people that I'm not talking about just someone that I'm an acquaintance with. I'm talking about people that are either family members or someone who I would consider a close friend or someone who I care about. You understand? So it's not just like, well, a guy, one of the guys I went to high school with that I never hung out with, he died. I don't count those people because there's a lot more if I do. And I don't want it to go up any further. That's why I have this Narcan kit here. Whenever I go into the hospital, they ask me if I want them. So I take them whenever they're offered, and they do expire. So I just got a new one a month ago. But yeah, Narcan wasn't around when I was ODing. When I overdosed, I was taken out of my house, and my younger brother, I have a memory of it, even though I was totally done. I was gone. My brother was crying in the street, because I was dead. They basically told me that I was dead. I think I forgot exactly what happened, but I have the memory, even though I was not awake. I remember him screaming and crying and seeing him, even though I wasn't. I'm surprised they revived me that time, but I have that weird memory. So that brings me into this other world where I start going, okay, there's definitely some sort of weird, like the people who have those experiences where they lift out of their body when they're in surgery or when they're in a coma, those things happen. Like, that almost happened to me in a way. So like I started, you got to be skeptical of anything at first, no matter what it is. You got to be skeptical if I tell you that I'm a white man right now, because I could be an AI, right? I told you that earlier. I might be black or Puerto Rican. But anyway, so yeah, I was doing heroin for a good while. I don't do that anymore, but I still have to take medications to treat. Let me tell you, from Crohn's disease, I've had 3 bowel resections, which is where they cut my stomach from here all the way down to here. I have a huge scar on my stomach like that, which they've opened 3 times, through my belly button, destroyed my belly button, take your intestines out, cut pieces off, reattach your intestines, put it back together, and then put it back in your body. And they tell you beforehand, you're probably going to wake up with either an ileostomy, which is a ileostomy bag is where your intestines are on the outside of your body in a bag, or a colostomy bag where your shit just goes into the bag. They're telling me every time you're going to wake up with an ileostomy bag, which means my intestines were not going to be put back into my body. And I most likely would have been living the rest of my life with my intestines outside of my body, which, I don't know if it ever, you could ever put it back. I don't know. I never looked into that, but it never happened. I got lucky. I had 3 surgeries. They did this to me 3 times. The first time I almost died. The first time I had surgery was February 17th, 2011. And I was rushed to Stony Brook Hospital. Thank God, because Stony Brook Hospital is awesome. And the nurses on my floor, they were all Polish, which was great because I love Polish people and their accents. And I did have one Nigerian nurse that refused to watch me because they also had me on a 1-to-1 for suicide watch for some reason. I don't know what I said or did. I don't remember. But I was in post surgery, and I was telling this Nigerian nurse how the Nigerians, they go into Tanzania, whatever you want to call that country, and they look for the albinos to kill them for their bones, so they could use them for their witch doctors, and they put them in their fishing nets for good luck to catch fish. This is a true story. So I'm telling this nurse, and the nurse walks out, never comes back, and they said that he refused to watch me. So that was funny. Anyway, so they take your intestines out, blah, blah, blah. Luckily, every time it was put back in, and I have my intestines in my body. But that's obviously caused many problems for me, including ever being able to have a flat stomach ever again because of the way that they cut me open. It's numb. First of all, from here all the way down basically to my pubic area is numb. I could push on it. I don't feel it because they've cut it open so many times. This whole area like this is numb. And I can't do sit-ups, I can't do crunches, I can't do anything involving my abdomen. So it's almost impossible to get in shape in my stomach area ever again in my life. Right? So, but yeah, so having these surgeries, obviously they put you on heavy medications, right? But after a while, you have a little history in your medical history where they're like, oh, well, you were actually hospitalized for an overdose one time on a drug overdose. So we don't want to give you as many, that many drugs for your pain that is totally necessary. No matter if you're a drug addict or an angel, they're totally necessary when you take someone's intestines out, right? So they don't want to give me these medications. I'm suffering. The second I leave that hospital, I'm doing drugs again. I'm not blaming them, but what would you do if you're in fucking massive pain in a hospital and they will not address it? and then they finally let you go, and you know that you can get rid of that pain. What are you gonna do? And that's the problem that drug addicts have. And I can talk about that because I'm a recovered drug addict. I'm not so I I don't do AA, NA, none of that shit. I just don't do heroin and cocaine and shit anymore, right? I just don't do it. That's it. Because it's bad. It kills everyone around me. I'm lucky that I didn't die. I should have been dead way before rest in peace, many of my friends. I should have been dead way before them. And for some reason, I'm not. So my best advice to myself was don't do it anymore. And then you won't have to worry about that because you already got shit to worry about. You know, I have other illnesses. I have autoimmune disease. I have another chronic illness. I have all these different things going on. And I have to be. So I am on pain medication now. I'm on anxiety medication. I'm on. What else am I on? I'm on a bunch of shit. I don't even know what they're for anymore. I don't even remember what they're called. But, you know, at least today, I still keep the one thing that I'm proud of for me is that all the people that have died. I was in jail in 2012. Okay. My daughter was about to be born in the next 8 months, and I had to do 6 months in jail no matter what. I had to do it. So I just walked into the court. I did some drugs. Literally, this is what I did. I did drugs on purpose. I was clean at the time because I was going through court and they were testing me. So I did drugs on purpose, went to the court on a day I wasn't supposed to be there. The judge asked the DA, who was great. I forgot her name, the black lady, great woman. I told her, I said, hey, I need to go to jail. I'm having a child and I don't want to be in jail. Her to put me into jail in 3 months and then I'm not there for the baby being born. So take my urine right now, please. Right? Comes up dirty. Immediately, I go into jail. I do 4 out of 6 months, get out, and then I'm able to go to the doctor's appointment, see my daughter get born, all that stuff. So I don't know what the point of me getting into that was. The point is, drug addicts, a lot of people that don't understand the addiction phase of people doing drugs or the drug scene, they don't understand that, like the story I just told you, where a person's in pain, in legit pain, you know, and because you have a history in your medical record of having a drug problem, whether it's a long history or one, when that happened, I had an OD that wasn't even a full OD at that point. It wasn't even a real overdose. It was like someone thought I was overdosing and brought me to the hospital, but it was on my record. And because of that, they didn't want to give me the proper pain medication post-surgery, which led me to run out the fucking door and go do heroin again, which was not my plan. It wasn't my plan. I was like, oh, thank God I'm out of this shit. I did it for like a very short time, and I got my way out of it. And I'm not, like, again, I'm not blaming the hospital or doctors. I understand. Okay, they see someone might be a drug addict. They don't want to give them the drugs that they're addicted to. So whatever, I understand that, but I also don't, because it doesn't matter who's what. If you're a drug addict, if you're a fucking, I'm not going to even say any other addictions, actually. Let me leave that out of this because that's horrible. But if you're a drug addict, it should not matter when you're in a hospital under supervision if you're given those medications. I don't care if someone's been a heroin opiate addict for 45 straight years. They come into the hospital after they got hit by a car and they need their leg amputated. They need pain medication. I don't care if they're a heroin addict. What the fuck's the difference? They're in the hospital, and then you wean them off that, and maybe you'll help them and save their life by weaning them off in the hospital while they're there. But they don't do that. They just say, get the fuck out of here. We didn't give you enough medication. Sorry, hit the mic. We didn't give you enough medication. We know you're in pain. Bye. We'll see you soon. You'll probably be dead when we see you. You'll probably be a corpse. That's kind of how they send you off. And let me read your story. Sorry, I went on a little rampage because sometimes when I talk about this stuff, I get mad just because if you knew the amount of people that I don't know if you guys saw the short on this channel that I put up of Gino, and it says when your dog has more friends on the block than you do, because my dog, when I walk him, has like 5 dog friends, and he looks at their houses looking for each. When we pass the houses, he stops on their lawn and looks for them, and I have to go, oh, this one's not home right now or whatever. And I'm thinking like, every friend that I grew up with, and all the people I was in all these bands with, and wrote music with, they're all dead, all of them. Anyway, so it gets me started. It just gets me rolling, and it's only 3 o'clock. I fucking swear to God, I'm trying to kill this whole day so I could just go to sleep and wake up for tomorrow, because tomorrow will be much better for me. And it's only fucking 3 o'clock, right? I thought it was like 5 o'clock already. Anyway, let me read this. Let me read Matthew's story about his friend. My boy Pizza Pete OD'd many times. Yes. But I'm going to say, before I even read this, Matt, just before I read it, I've already pre-read it just while I'm talking. Every single thing I'm about to read, I've experienced myself, so I know what it's like to witness this shit from an outside point of view and from an inside point of view. It's really sad. It's really scary. Especially now with this shit that they're putting in this shit. Not even fentanyl. They're putting xylazine, which is a horse tranquilizer. That's why the people over on Kensington in Philadelphia are zombies, where they're just walking like zombies, because they're putting this shit in the heroin. Now it's here in Long Island too. So anyway, my boy Pizza Pete OD'd many times. He hung himself a year later after his brother OD'd and died. I'm not comparing. These are different people. Pizza Pete is one of the coolest names ever. I wish something rhymed with my name as cool as the word as pizza, because pizza is probably one of the coolest, best things in the world. So if your name can flow with the word pizza, you're awesome in my book. So rest in peace to Pizza Pete. And unfortunately, people in situations like that find themselves in a mindset where they don't have an escape. They kind of like I was just saying, you're in a hospital, the last possible place where you can get this kind of help. Once you're out of there's no like hospital 2, you know what I mean? So some people take different routes. Pizza Pete took a route that many of my friends have taken. The worst one, I would say, for the families, and especially a family who has already a child who's died. So I didn't even finish reading. Let me read what he said first. I'm reacting before I even read it out loud. He hung himself a year after his little brother OD'd and died. Pete started his little brother on dope when he was 15, and Pete was 24. So Pete, what I'm getting from this is that Pete was feeling guilty about him starting his brother. So that's why maybe he hung himself. Did he leave any sort of note or anything like that, Matthew, that might confirm what I just said? I mean, obviously, it's not like I'm some magical genius. I'm sure every person thought of this, but I know situations that are exactly like that, and that's exactly what happened. Oh, right, okay, so and you know what? I give Pizza Pete. Let's all I don't know if you could see. I have goosebumps right now for Pizza Pete. I don't know Pizza Pete. Didn't know Pizza Pete, but I love him. His name is great. Matthew seems to not think that Pizza Pete was a bad guy in any way. He was his friend, my boy, right? So we Pizza Pete we rest in peace to Pizza Pete. I'm not going to name names on from my end, but I know many people who it wasn't even family. I mean, they just got a friend one of their friends, just like the people who got me started on doing it. I kind of got myself started, really. I'll keep myself out of this one. But I've seen other people get someone, to do, and then all of a sudden that person's gone, right? Last summer, one of my friends, a female, she died. She had no drug history until she met the father of her children, who got her into doing heroin, and then she died last July 1st of last year. So what was I saying? I keep losing myself because this is such a personal thing. There's so much going through my mind. Is people don't ever think about the families of these people? Yeah, I mean, yeah. See, Matt says, no, he was just crushed permanently. I mean, we all knew why. I mean, I knew why the second I read it. I mean, it's so obvious he didn't need to leave a note. I agree that he didn't even need to leave it, because it should have been clear to everyone. But the problem here, the problem that people have is, and not you, Matt, or Dollface, not you guys, but maybe family members of Pete or whatever, those people should be aware of stuff like that and should be watching for things like that, I think, in my opinion. Even if they might have burned bridges, because obviously they're two brothers. One of them died first, both doing heroin. A lot of bridges get burned. It just happens. And luckily for me, it wasn't that bad where my family disowned me or whatever. I have all my family and my parents and siblings and everyone's in my life, luckily. But a lot of people I know who are still alive have none of those people because of the shit that they did. And a lot of those people are gone because they felt guilty for getting someone else started, and then that person passing away and they're still alive. So it's almost like a survivor's guilt. But I think it's way worse than survivor's guilt. Like an airplane crash, people get survivor's guilt. They're one of the 3 people out of the 80 that lived, and they have survivor's guilt. I get it, but this is a different kind of survivor guilt. This is more like I fucked up. I did this. Like, I feel like I killed I killed someone. That's how the people feel. Thank God I've never given something to someone that they died from, because I have a felony for selling heroin. I don't know if anyone knows that. I have a felony for selling heroin. That is why I have a felony on my record. Okay, so I'm going to tell you now, no one has ever died from anything I've given or sold them. Anyway, that was years ago. Even though I'm still on probation for another year. It was many years ago. They gave me a lot of probation. Yes, this is also true. I don't know exactly when it was that happened. But I would say tough love has been rare since the late 80s. I mean, obviously I wasn't like an adult in the late 80s, but just, I wouldn't say I'm not, I was about to say I'm a historian. I'm not a historian. I like history. I like to read what happened in the time around, especially around the year I was born, what was going on in life, in the world, especially in America, especially in the place that I was born and lived and all that stuff. I always look into stuff like that. And it seems like the 70s, 60s, 50s, obviously the 40s, the 50s, and even part of the 60s was very family driven. Tough love was much easier to get across. But now there's like no tough love at all. Now, look how many, I mean, I'm not even going to get into it because I'm going to start saying bad things about people that I don't like. So I'm not going to do that. But there's, over time, there's been I don't know if you guys believe this or not. I could prove it to you if you want, if you got a couple hours. But there's been a plot to destroy this country from the inside since the 70s, since like 1971, right? And it starts with kids. So now all of these kids are adults. And I'm talking about people older than me. A little older than me, maybe 10 years older than me. They're all these people that are kind of indoctrinated with the mindset, with a weird mindset, and they're just like zombies and robots, and they just listen to anything. They believe anything. And it's so sad. Tough love has gone out the window because of that. Now it's, well, I can't offend Pizza Pete because he does heroin. I don't want to say, hey, I want to help you, because it might offend him. And I'm sorry for using Pizza Pete as an example, but I had to because his name is on my mind. But You know, that's how it is now. It's like people are dying because other people just are like not even caring at all, and let alone giving tough love. They're not even giving love at all. Um, yeah, see, that's what I figured. Let me read this. Let me put my glasses back on. His parents needed to cut them off with a free place to stay, feeding them. You could trust Pete. He was likable. He would never steal from family or friends, even when sick. What? Yeah. Oh, okay. But his parents cut off Pete and his brother before the brother passed away. But they gave them a free place to stay and money for food. Is that what you're saying? I'm kind of just confused about the first part of what you said because obviously I know so many situations like this, but what I'm reading is that the parents said, "Hey, listen, we can't deal with you anymore, but here's a place to live, and we'll send you some money like every 2 weeks to buy food. You know, maybe a small amount of money that obviously you can get high with $10, but the parents would assume wouldn't be a dangerous amount of money to give to them. That's what I would usually see in situations like that. They wouldn't want to give $100 bill to, or even like even 50, 40, $50. Like, a lot of people would just be like, I don't trust you. Even if it's their money, like, it's hard to throw someone in the streets if they're good people and they're only killing themselves. They all live together. Oh wait, so okay, his parents needed to cut them off but didn't. That's what you meant. Okay. Yes. That's it. That might have saved him. I'm not saying it would. I shouldn't have said that actually. But you always look at when they say, and I hate when people say this, when they say that, the hindsight is 2020 or whatever, but a lot of the times that tough love by saying, you know what, I'm not gonna feed you and give you a free place to stay while you're actively using heroin. Like, let's say, I've seen this before. If you go to rehab, I'll let you come back to the house, but the second I figure out that you're doing drugs again, you're out. That's a good way to give someone an option to say, all right, I'll go to rehab, even if they don't stay for 28 days, whatever. They stay for a week. We go through detox for 5, 6, 7 days, whatever. Now it's 3 days. They want to kill people. So, all right, go to detox. When you come back, you'll still have your bedroom. We'll continue with, I'll help you, whatever, but you got to start figuring something out. Go get money from the state, file for disability, do this. But if I catch you with drugs, you're out. That's usually like the best way to do it from my point of view, from seeing people take that advice and say, all right, that's a good idea, and then see other people go, okay, and then come back and just immediately start doing drugs and then their parents don't do what they say. So when they said, if you come back and do drugs, you're out, and then they come back and do drugs and they're not out, that does not help. That makes it worse. Parents just ignore the dope. 2 kids worked a square job just for dope. Yeah. I mean, that explains why you said that the parents are feeding them, because they're working jobs and they will not spend money on food. Now, I don't know, Matt. Right. Let me put this up. What Matt said here. Let me just put this up here. I forgot what I keep my mind's fucked up. I'm very forgetful. I don't know if Stacy's still here, but Stacy is she lives near me. She knows me. She went to high school with me. She knows me. My memory is fucked up. My memory is very fucked up. So I short term, I can remember details of things that happened to me when I was 7. I went to the zoo when I was 4 years old, and I remember the elephant taking a shit, but I don't remember what I said yesterday. So, and I literally remember the elephant shitting, and I was 4 years old. I remember that. Anyway, I also went to the zoo when I was 2, and because it rhymes, I remember that. That's the only reason I remember that. I don't remember it in my mind. Anyway, but yeah, Stacy can vouch that I forget things in the middle of talking about them. I'll be literally talking about the Anarchist Handbook, and then forget that I'm talking what book I'm talking about while it's in my hand. So that's those are some side effects of the things that I've done to myself. And I only blame myself, really. A lot of doctors did start these things, but in the end, it's really your own journey to know what is too much. And there were points where too much was too little, and that's where people started dying. And then I'm going to give you one more story about my arrest. Those are always fun, right? Listen to this connection, and fucking an elephant shit is profound. An elephant's mind is profound. Anyway, I told you already, I was in jail in 2012. While I was in there, I was in a dorm called the J dorm. Lucky me. JJ, Triple J, MCO. All right, anyway. There was 60 bunks in this dorm. I was bunk 20. Bunk number 1 was John. I'm not going to say his last name, even though he deserves it. Was John. John is a gay male, obviously a male. He was gay, but he wasn't gay by look. He was just gay by when you talk to him, and he admitted, he said he was gay. You could tell he's gay, but if you just looked at him without him speaking, you would just think he was like a preppy dude or whatever, right? So he was in there, and I get to talking. I'm friendly with everyone, so I'm just meeting people, and I start talking to him, and he says his last name, and I said, that's funny because my dad, who was a cop, his partner had the same last name. And it turns out that this guy, John, is the son of my dad's ex-partner in the NYPD, right? They're detectives. So my father was also a Rikers Island corrections officer. Anyway, yes, I agree. Preppy is gay. I'd rather say gay is preppy. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so John, I knew a lot of people in there because the jail is oh God, who cares, man? It's fine. The jail is, I lived in Hicksville, right? If you know where Nassau County Jail is, it's in East Meadow, like on the border of Hicksville. So for instance, when I was released, I walked home, it was, the jail is so close to where I lived that I could walk home, right? So I'm in there, and I obviously become friendly with John because his father now knows that his partner's son is also in jail with him. So me and John were getting special treatment by the COs in Nassau County Jail. I won't lie, because they knew our parents. Our parents were coming in flashing badges, so we were allowed to have like black. You're not allowed to you have to have white socks, white shirts, white underwear. So I was the only person who had like black socks and black T-shirts and stuff. And people get jealous about stuff like that, but I know how to deal with people like this in the hood and everywhere in my life where I've been. So jail is no different. All I did was I just, instead of being like, haha, I'm the guy with all the good stuff, I turned them in. I would take the socks and I would take the little pencil that they give you and rip a sheet apart. And I started making eye masks out of the black socks so it would block the light so people could sleep, because they leave the lights on while you're in jail, right? So I became like a seamstress. What would you call a male seamstress? A seamster? Seamer? I don't know. Whatever. I was the male seamstress with my black clothing in jail, right? So John was he got a little flack for being gay. There were other gay people though in the dorm, but they were flamboyant, and it was more funny. So they would make fun of them, but it was like a big joke, like 5 Snicker bars for a blowjob, and like it was crazy. But John was just a gay kid that people knew was gay. He wasn't trying to hit on anyone or whatever, but they kind of like he was weak, So I had to like protect him. So I was protective of him, which made me some enemies amongst people that calling me gay. I'm like, all right, call me gay. I don't give a shit. Like, I'm not gay. I don't give a fuck. You can call me gay. You can call me whatever the fuck you want. Homo lover. I remember they called me homo lover. And then the guy who called me homo lover was caught in the bathroom with the guy who had HIV in the bathroom stall doing whatever they were doing. That same guy was caught in the stall with the gay black guy that had HIV. So fuck you if you ever see this. Anyway, Taylor. Yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking of the word seam at the moment. Give me a fucking break. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I had like 12 Walkmans. None of them had my serial number or my name on them. But no one would take them from me because I had juice. Yeah, like you said, I had juice because my father was coming in with flashing the badge, and so was John's. Now the problem was that the COs kept pulling me out. They would say, bunk 20, front, come to the door. And I would go to the door, walk out, and like the CO DeVito, who was the biggest dickhead, wasn't a dickhead to me. So everyone was very skeptical about what was going on because I was given the job outside of the dorm and all that stuff, right? That's not even the point. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. John is the problem here. So that's where I met John. John ends up getting out of jail way after me because he robbed his grandmother and like beat her up or something. And this is a weak, gay, flimsy little dude went and beat up his grandmother's. I don't know. I don't think he beat her up, but like he like did something like to hold her back so he could steal all her shit in the middle of the night. So that's what he was in there for. Anyway, he gets out and he lives nearby. I end up running into him. We exchange numbers. Obviously, we look at each other like we both know we both do drugs, right? So we hung out like 4 or 5 times, and like, and when picked up or whatever, and I made some money off of it or whatever. I wasn't selling it or doing anything like that. And then one day we go into Jamaica, Queens. This is, yes, I had Guinea privilege, exactly. Now that I'm definitely putting up. So now John comes to Jamaica, Queens, right? And we're going down Merrick Boulevard or Merrick Avenue, whichever one is the one that's in Jamaica, Queens, because there's a Merrick Boulevard here in Nassau County or Merrick Ave, whichever one is in Queens, in Jamaica, Queens. We were driving down there in a snowstorm, and this is right when fentanyl started being put into the shit. Literally with like in the first month where fentanyl was being put into heroin, okay? So he's driving his old piece of shit beat up like Jeep from like a 1990 piece of shit Jeep, right? No, it's not. It's not Willis. It's Merrick Boulevard. It's the first exit on the Bell Parkway. If you take the Southern State, when you get on the Bell Parkway, it's the first exit. It's Merrick Boulevard, and it goes right into Jamaica, Queens. So, and if you keep going, you'll hit the Northern State. Anyway, so we're driving. He sniffs. I'm a shooter, right? I'm an IV guy. So I'm waiting till I go home and I can just do my thing by myself. But he's got to sniff bags of dope right when he gets them. And we don't know now. It looked weird. This is funny because it's literally right when fentanyl started being put in this shit. It was, no one even knew about it yet. This is how we found out. It looked weird. It looked like it had a different color, right? I'm in Hicksville. So it looked like it had like a bluish tint. I don't know. It was weird, but whatever. He took one bag, sniffed it, and he's driving now. Now, mind you, we're in a blizzard, and he's driving, and all of a sudden he starts smiling like the Joker, like this, like I can't even do it, like not with his teeth, with his mouth like this, and he's staring straight, right? And I'm like, yo, what are you doing? And he's speeding up. Now I look forward. We're in a blizzard. Keep remembering there's a blizzard going on. So these things are in a blizzard are just not normal anyway. But they were abnormal, even more abnormal in this situation. He's speeding up towards a red light. There's a van at the red light. He's going from 40 to 60 on ice. And he's overdosing now. I'm realizing this dude's overdosing from sniffing like a half a bag. What the fuck just happened? You know, we do like 5 bags at a time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, he only like took a bag out, put some on his finger, and just went like that. That's all he did. And now his face is turning blue, and he's still driving. He finally slams into the van. We're about a mile away from getting onto the fucking Belt Parkway and getting out of this place, and this dude overdoses. So I'm like, you know, obviously I'm just going to let him die. Whatever. All right, see you guys later. No, really. I fucking jump out of the fucking car. The first thing I do is run to the guy in the van because he's yelling. I said, shut the fuck up. He's dying. You know, that's the first thing I did was shut that guy up. And he would have kicked my ass, that guy. But maybe because it was icy out, he couldn't get to me. I don't know what happened because I turned my back. But I just told him to shut the fuck up. And it was this big-ass dude. I don't know. I don't even... He disappeared. I don't know where he went. But if I would have been in his reach, he would have knocked me the fuck out. Anyway... I said, shut the fuck up, my friend's dying. So then I pull him out of the front seat of his driver's seat into the middle of the road and start trying to do CPR. But I don't know, really. I know how to, I was trained in CPR, but like I was in the snow and I'm also thinking I have drugs in my pocket and he's got drugs in his pocket, whatever. I'm on the phone with 911, immediately call 911. I don't, obviously I'm not going to let someone die because I have drugs in my pocket. If anyone ever does that, you're a piece of shit. Anyway, and also in New York, they're not going to arrest you for the drugs in your pocket if you call the police if someone's dying, overdosing. They're not even going to check you. But, at that point, that wasn't really being enforced that much. So I was a little worried, but I had a jacket that had secret pockets, which I still do like to have hoodies and stuff with secret pockets, but not for the same reasons. Anyway, so I got all the crap out of his pockets and my pockets, put it in the jacket, and threw it in the back of his car because, thank God, because he was dead. He was dead. They told me he was dead if I didn't call right away. What I did was the second he hit that van, my phone was 911. I'm getting out, telling the guy to shut up while 911's picking up the phone. So what they did was, I was lucky, there was a fucking fire ambulance right around the block. So it was there like that. They said if that ambulance hadn't been in that area and they were maybe, stationed wherever they station themselves and wait, and they weren't on the road, that he would have died. He had about a minute, right? So they saved his life. So this was 2012, 2013, right? Something like that. I forgot what year. So a year goes by and I don't hear from him at all. And good, all right. He overdosed. I thought maybe he went to jail. I never heard from him again. Then I get a call or a text, or no, it was on Facebook, which I don't use. But the Messenger thing I still was using Messenger at the time. And he sends me a Facebook message. Hey, what's up? Can you get me a bundle of dope? And I go, no, because now I have my daughter. I was just cleared to have my daughter from Friday through Sunday every weekend. So not cleared, but it was like, my daughter was living with her mother at the time, at that time. And I didn't have like a schedule. So it's not that I was cleared by anyone. It was just we just got the decision down that every weekend I was going to drive from Hicksville to Manorville to pick up my daughter. And then on Sunday night, drive her back to Manorville. That was what just started happening in my life. And I loved it. So I was like, no, I'm not going to get you a bundle. I'm not doing drugs. I wasn't doing drugs. But for some weird reason, that was in March. Right? That was in March or whatever year it was. For some weird reason, like every other day, he kept, finally, I guess I didn't give him my phone number. I had changed my number, but he got it from someone. I think a girl named Jen Fippinger. And he started calling me like every other day, and offering me more money to do it for him, to get it, because he wanted to get high. And hey, blah blah blah, all the people that I used to get it from, they're gone. I don't have all this shit. I keep saying no, no, no. It took them from May until April, no, until from March until May, to convince me to do it, and I did. So what he did was, he said, I'll give you like, I don't know, like $200 or $250, and all I had to do was like take a 10-minute ride. And I was like, all right, I could use $200. Like, easy. Like, I wasn't gonna take $50, but like $200, sure, I'll take 10-minute ride with you. Little did I know that before he called me or messaged me the first time, he got arrested in Suffolk County. And he's trying to set me up so he can get off his charge, because he got caught with heroin in his pocket. So he's trying to get me to buy his heroin so I can get in trouble. He can get off. And the funniest thing is, that's exactly what happened. I got arrested. I got put in jail. He got his charges wiped. And the drug dealer that I bought the drugs from, that they watched, they have film of it, they didn't even go near him. The guy was a major. I'm telling you, Matt, Baby Doll, Stacy, whoever, Matt and Baby Doll, maybe not Stacy, I don't know who's here. I'm telling you, this was one of the biggest people involved in heroin in Queens, all that I was dealing with. And they didn't even follow the guy. They arrested me. I ended up on a fucking million-year probation. And you know what? Rest in peace. John ended up overdosing and dying about 2 years ago. And I found out, talking to my probation officer, telling her about how much of a scumbag he is and how I should not be in jail. How are these people not in jail? And I'm going through all this bullshit where, you guys don't know this, but the anxiety that being on probation brings you is, not you, me, is crazy. Like, every day I'm worried that, because they show up to your house, they just come in your house. Sometimes they pull me out of my house, and because I didn't pay my fine on a certain time, I've had to have Stacy send me money into my thing to pay to get out. They come into my house and they fucking take me because I didn't pay the fine that was also part of my probation. And they do that, and then thank God they haven't done that in a long time. And right. So John died, and I'm talking mad shit to my probation officer. I'm like, this dude, he set me up, and the cops were with him for 2 months, setting up an innocent person. I'm not saying I'm innocent of everything I ever did. I'm saying I'm innocent. I was not a drug dealer, nor was I even using drugs. But they pushed and pushed and pushed until I was like, you know what, I could use $250 today. That day I was like, yeah, I need money. All right, fine, come over, pick me up, let's go. And obviously they were being followed. I was being followed. I was on camera. He had a camera set up in his car. They set me up. So that's why. Well, no, I'm not John. John's the guy who has these books. John. It's another John who owns these. That's not me. It's a different guy. Totally different guy. My name is Joe. Remember, I'm Joe. My middle name is John. That's why I call myself JJ. I don't think I've ever told you guys that, actually. But yeah, my name's Joe and my middle name's John. So I'm JJ. Anyway, my dad's name is John, too. And so is the rest in peace scumbag that put me in jail, got me arrested, got me on probation. I do blame him for that, because I'm not guilty in any way of, like if I was out there dealing with drugs and stuff, then I would be like, all right, that comes with the territory, but I wasn't. So at that time, fuck you. You know what I mean? And when I found out he died, in my head, I was like, you know what? For a second, I really had no remorse for like 5 seconds. I was like, good. Fuck you. But then, I come back to normal, and I'm like, everyone's human, and when you go in, especially when you're going through like a drug problem and stuff, you do weird shit. You do stuff you don't think you would, you probably would never do normally. You say things you would never do. You'll set up your father's police partner's son to get arrested so you can get off your charges. Because when I got out of the jail, I checked, and he was arrested, and all his charges were wiped from the internet. So I knew that that's what happened. So the second I got out of jail in August, when I was finally bailed out,
and we needed like $16,000 in cash to fucking bail me out. I went online, I looked, and I saw that he was arrested in either March or February, which is right when he started calling me. And then it seemed like in June of that year, his charges just disappeared. Like, it doesn't tell you what he was arrested for or anything. It doesn't say he has anything pending, no court case, nothing. So obviously, him setting me up got him off. And why don't I get that option? I'll fucking tell on a couple of drug dealers that have killed a couple of my friends. I don't give a fuck. I'm telling you straight up. If you sold drugs to my friend and my friend died, I will tell if the police says, hey, who sold him that drugs? I'm going to say it was Frank because you killed someone. You understand? Makes sense, right? That's how I think, at least. I don't care if you're in the drug world or not. You're not supposed to be trying to kill people. And if you know that you have shit that might kill people, you shouldn't be selling it to them. That's how I think. Just my opinion. A lot of people don't agree with that, but sometimes I change my mind on those opinions too. You thought my name was Joshua James, huh? That sounds like a gay guy, like a gay guy, but one of those gay guys that doesn't use like those stupid pronouns, and he just goes by he, him, like a normal gay guy, but he does his nails and has long nails. Joshua James. Oh, isn't there like a guy that has a name like that does that? Isn't that why I'm thinking that? Like James something? Look up. I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if Stacy was watching when I looked up my great grandfather, because he was a pretty well known mobster in the 30s, but it would reveal my whole name, my like full name, because he has my exact name. So I don't know if I should. I kind of got upset with myself when I did that the first time, but I didn't mention that I have the same name as him. But there's articles from the 30s. LL Cool J was Cool JJ. LL Cool JJ. That was one of my AOL screen names. LL Cool JJ. It really was. I think it was like the first one. My first one was Houdini 688. I don't know where the 6 came from. 8's my number. And then LL Cool JJ. And then Joe Cool X89. Those are my AOL names. Anyway, yeah, so I guess that was a little more than 20 minutes, but thank you for listening. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'll pull it up. Let me pull up this article. This is my great grandfather's. I type his name in, and then I put in like mob or something, and articles start showing up. Let me put up the full name. I have to pee so bad right now. I have to pee so bad that I'm thinking about just like muting this microphone and standing to the side and just pissing in that fucking bottle. I don't want to get up right now because now I want to find this. I'm not going to do that, obviously, so don't worry. Where is it? Pin on the mob. Oh, I forgot to put mob. I know you can't see what I'm doing right now, but I want to make sure the right shit comes up. Hold on. No, I don't want images. That's why. Okay. Pin on the New York Mafia, the Commission, drug dealers in the mob. Images for said name mob. AmericanMafia.com. Literally, it says, first, my last name claims to have been close to New Jersey mob boss Abner Longies Willman. He was. Stratton points out that there is a picture of my last name, blah, blah, blah. Joseph and Anthony, my last name, Gambino, family brothers, the men behind the mob's wives. So this is about my great-grandmother. What the fuck? I'm sorry, I can't show you guys this. What the fuck? I can't believe I just found that. I got to show this to my dad. This is crazy. All right, I think I found it wanted by the FBI. Okay. All right, I think I found the wanted by the FBI picture. I don't mind showing this. Wait, where'd it go? I clicked the wrong thing. I want this picture right here. Can I get this picture? Gambino family brothers. Can I save it? Okay. I'm going to save the image, and then I'm going to just put it up. That's what I'll do. You guys are going to see my last name here, obviously. So I'm just gonna trust you guys. I mean, I don't know if I should do it. I really don't know if I should just put my last name out. What does this mean, Matt? Oh, you're saying you were watching when I pulled that shit up last time? Is that what you're saying? All right, no big deal. I found more new things just now. That's why I was like, "What the fuck?" But so you're saying later? Okay, all right. I'll get off. Hey, Rumble people, are you still watching? You are. Wow. Well, thank you. I like this fucking eBay thing that I got that I figured out here because it's a see-through one, so I could put it and still like be in it. Hi eBay, fuck you. And also the one up on top, you know. I like this one here, so you just boop 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 boop. But everyone knows that eBay sucks. All right, so I'm assuming. No, yeah, that's what I'm not doing all that. Microsoft, Stacy, are you fucking kidding me, Stacy? All right, Dollface, I'm gonna yell at Stacy before you leave. Save the image, and you could probably black it out in Microsoft Word. If anyone knows better than in this chat of 3 people that I cannot use Microsoft Word on a Chromebook, it's you. And you know that because I bitch about this fucking computer 50 times a day. It actually froze on me before you even showed up. It already fucked up once. How dare you? I'm messing with you, obviously, but I can't believe you said that. Like, are you kidding me? Every day. I need a new computer. This Chromebook is the worst thing I've never. Dollface, Matthew, if you touch a Chromebook with your hands, wash your hands. Wash the dirt of Chromebook off. Chromebooks are horrible. I'm on a Chromebook now. That's why everything sucks. But I'll be on a better HP in like a month. I'm getting another laptop, and I just got this piece of shit too. This thing, not only did I get it, it broke within like a week. I think a week or two, Stacy. It broke within a week, and then they held it for like 2 months, gave it back to me, and it's still a piece of shit. Well, you know what it is, Dollface. I can't use anything. I have this microphone that has an app that goes with this microphone that makes this microphone amazing. But I can't use that app on a Chromebook because it's not compatible. And neither is half the shit on my streaming software that allows me to do all the shit that I'm doing, this stuff, just anything, this, all the stuff that I'm doing, the program that I pay for to use, most of the stuff isn't compatible with Chromebook. Also, I got a job. I don't know if you guys know this, but I got a job writing for InsideTheRink.com. So I'm writing articles for covering the Devils, the New Jersey Devils, for InsideTheRink.com. It's a very great opportunity for me. It's a commission job. Can't wait to start in a month. Need a new computer, right? I got that job. And they sent me Slack, which is how they communicate with all their employees, because their employees live in different states and in Canada. And Slack, guess what? Is not compatible with Chrome OS. Nothing. And you know what? This fucking computer, this piece of shit Chromebook, Google, whatever you want to call it, there's no USB ports. There's just the USB-C port, the one that I plugged this microphone in. That's all that there is. There's not one USB port. There's no buttons. There's nothing. Like I should have looked a little further, but I needed a laptop really fast, so that's why I just bought the cheapest laptop I could afford. Yeah, please wash the dirt off of the Chromebooks, please. But thank you, Dollface. Yeah, I got hired by InsideTheRing.com to write for the Devils. Luckily, I could do it on my, at my own will because it's a commission base. But what I do is, I don't even know if you know this, but I have another channel where I do hockey. That's why I have hockey stuff behind me, because I made a video, my hockey stuff. I cover my whole thing with all hockey jerseys and stuff and everything, and I cover the Devils on YouTube and on Twitter. And once I sent all my stuff to them, they saw that I'm obviously a diehard fan, all that shit. I got hired. So October 6th is the first game that I'm gonna be attending, and I'm gonna start my first article after that. That's a preseason game. So thank you. So I need better stuff, because I can't even do the job that I just got hired for on this computer, unfortunately, and I can't get my money back for it either. So fuck Chromebook, fuck anyone who makes them. All right, everyone left except for Stacy, so I am done. Stacy did claim her family was coming over 2 hours ago. Anyway, all right. Thanks for watching. Smell you later, Bart. Smell you later forever. Can you tell me